What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid. Figured we go live quick. I'm set to go on the Fantasy Football Garage channel over there. Links in the description, by the way. They're live right now. They got Emo Cowboy and the Shop Siblings, the Fan Speak Peeps on live right now over there. They're drafting eliminators. I'll be on there in about an hour and 15 minutes. So we'll rip a quick draft over here, have some fun, have a chat, see what's going on in the best ball streets. I'm not drafting a lot right now. I have my 10 BBMs that I've drafted pre-schedule release, and then just ripping some puppies here and there. I'm hoping to push the Schnauzer as late as I possibly can, hopefully after the schedule drops, but we'll see how quickly it fills. But let's jump in the best ball, the Underdog streets. We got Stephen Hines in there. Appreciate you coming in. It was a tough work week for me anyways. It was a long week this week, so excited it's Friday. Like I said, hit the link in the description, heading over to the Fantasy Football Garage. I hope that my viewers are actually pretty light tonight. I think Pat's ripping live right now as well, so should be pretty light tonight, which is fine. Like I said, I hope everybody's over at the Fantasy Football Garage. I'll be over there in about an hour and a bit, ripping an eliminator. Should be fun. Head on over there. Links in the description. So yeah, what I have so far that I've drafted, what's this one? Weekly winners. I'm focusing on weekly winners of anything. I think there's some value in weekly winners right now, and the rooms are a little bit softer. So I'm probably going to get that up to 10 weekly winners before the schedule gets released, and then we'll kind of take it from there. And then, yeah, 3 puppies, 10 best ball manias. I have a slow BBM going right now that I'm actively draining the clock every time it's my pick. We've made 2 selections. I'm hoping to push that as close to the schedule drop as I can, and we'll kind of just take it from there. So, yeah, 13 drafts. We'll rip a quick puppy tonight. I'm not expecting to do a crazy amount of volume before the NFL draft gets, the NFL schedule gets released. I'm really not. So like I said, I'm hoping to push this Schnauzer. Where are we? 21% filled. Still tons of room. So hopefully if I can push that till the schedule gets released, that would be ideal. There's still 8-hour clocks, which should be fine. I'm not sure if those will go away or not as we get closer to the schedule drop, or closer to the tournament filling, I should say. But we'll take it from there. I'm going to try to push that as far as I can. So yeah, let's jump into a puppy. 30-second clock. So if you're in the chat jumping in, puppy, 30-second clock. Let's do that. Waiting on 5. Tons of room. We got just over an hour, so there should be plenty of time to get this draft in before we head over to the Fantasy Football Garage. Like I said, I hope it's a light viewer count tonight. Hopefully everybody's over there supporting Chris, growing channel. Give the guy a like, help him out. I'll be over there in a bit. Should be a fun episode. I think it's PPR Tyler on after Emo Cowboy and the Shops who are on right now. I think it's PPR Tyler, and then I'm on after that. So should be fun. Feel like it'll get pushed a little bit, but I might crash on PPR Tyler a little bit and talk shit to him for a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. Waiting on 4, 30-second clock. Hopefully it feels quick. And then we can get this draft in. If not, I might have to rip over to a 20-second clock, but we'll see. We will see. The beauty of these 18-round drafts is they only take 45 minutes or so. The 20-second clocks are like, I don't know. They can be 35 minutes. If everybody's in there picking quick. So we'll see. Waiting on 4. 30-second clock, not a 20, a 30-second clock. Waiting on 4. And then we'll kind of just talk through what's been changing. I do have my rankings loaded in here, which I'm not trusting whatsoever. They're still the same rankings that I did kind of for opening day, where they had a little bit of value, but now they really don't whatsoever. So I really need to update my rankings. That should be something I do before the schedule gets released, and that'll be kind of on the menu. That's something I definitely need to focus on and get done in the next few days. And then I can kind of, the beauty, what I like about the since this update came, which is quite a while ago now, you can toggle between your rankings and the ADP, which is great. That's a great way to do it. And then just see if you're catching some falling ADP, whatever. You can take it from there. I really do need to finish my rankings though. So we'll see if anything's really changed. I know Genty's moving up the board, which I don't agree with at all. So hopefully it doesn't keep flying up the board, because I do want to get some shares, but even going by this, I have him ranked 12. I might move him up to 11. We'll see. But he's going at pick 8 right now. So not going to get a lot of shares if that stays and keeps moving upwards. We'll join you over there on the clock with you. Appreciate you. We're filled. We're ready to go. Hopefully I get like the 1. I get the 2, as always. Classic. We got Champ X in the 4 spot. I think that's it. Nice. Good. We might be able to get a little bit of a little bit of value here. A little bit of EV for the kid once in a while on stream. That's good to see. So what do I do here? Again, I want to stick to ADP. I do have BBO going, Best Ball Overlay. I'll have a promo code soon for Best Ball Overlay. Might have to hit up Pat for that. I was hoping to get it before I started streaming again, but here we are. So I'll have a promo code shortly for Best Ball Overlay. It'll probably be OTS. So keep that in your back pocket. But as soon as I get it, I will have it somewhere on the screen here. I'll have to build another skin, background, whatever you want to call it, but sounds like a me problem. Jamar Chase goes 1, not shocking. I've been taking a lot of Gibbs, and he's kind of falling, which is wild to me, but let's get some CeeDee Lamb going here. Actually, let's do Bijan. I want to make sure I kind of get enough shares. Mind you, this isn't Best Ball Mania, so I'm not really worried regardless. But this puppy is kind of time boxed. So how many, where are we at here? 12%. Okay. This will fill pretty quickly, especially after the schedule release happens, which we'll have an episode. There'll be tons of guests. All the typical guests will come on. Probably have Emo, PPR Tyler, BBG, Pat, stuff like that. We'll probably have it on. I want to have it on my channel on the 14th. So that'll be good. Check in on that. We'll take it from there. Should be a big day. That's a big day in Best Ball season. That's a big milestone day as soon as the schedule gets released. So, and then hopefully BBO gets updated. Best Ball Overlay gets updated right away to have those matchups built into the tool. It's one of the reasons you use a tool, right? So, yeah, I'm sure it will be. I'm not too concerned about that. Nothing surprising. Probably Genty here at the 8. Yep. Looks like he's auto drafting. That's fun. Hopefully doesn't happen for the whole draft. Maybe just miss the first pick. Neighbors of Monra. Looks about right. Nico. Yeah, Brian Thomas is falling. So basically, Brian Thomas is falling for Genty, and Genty's rising. So that might be why I will be okay with basically swapping the positions of Genty and Thomas. I think it's validated too, post draft. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with that whole Genty situation. I definitely want to get my shares, but if he flies up to, like, I won't be taking him over Puka. Again, my early take so far is there's tons of value at tight end and running back. So I would much prefer to be taking a first round wide receiver, but I will get my shares with first round running back, and then second round almost exclusively has to be a wide receiver. Honestly, your next 2 picks kind of have to be a wide receiver if you're taking a first round running back, just in my opinion, the way I'm probably going to be building, at least initially. We'll see if that shifts throughout the summer, which I'm sure it probably will, but we'll take it from there, and we'll take it day by day and see what happens. Genty is the last half pick for points. Yeah, I think so too. Like, I mean, I have a hard time taking a lot of these guys over Amon-Ra. Like, he's just so steady that it's really difficult to take some of these, like, I'm not going to call them spike week guys because they're still first round picks, but I'm not taking Brian Thomas Jr. over Amon-Ra. I'm never doing that. I'm not taking Nico over Amon-Ra ever. So I might end up with a fair amount of Amon-Ra St. Brown, which I'm perfectly fine with. But yeah, for considering where his ADP is at, I'm sure I'm going to end up with a lot. I will take Malik Neighbors. I will take Puka over Amon-Ra. Genty is a tough click for me over Amon-Ra. He really is. I think it should be basically rank these 6 however you want to rank them. I have my own rankings. You have your own, I'm sure. But rank these first 6 however you want. And then for me, it's Puka, Neighbors, Amon-Ra. And then it gets interesting, and that's probably where I put Genty. And then, like, for me, it's Drake London. But we'll take it from there. Like I said, I still have to build up my rankings and kind of finalize it. So I'm not going to be, hard and fast on any of my takes quite yet until I kind of go through my rankings and rank up to at least 200 players. And then I'll kind of take it from there. I'd like to rank like 220, 225 maybe. Something like that is what I like to have in my rankings, kind of locked in. But 200 is fine. Obviously, we pick 240, not even I think that was 20 round, 216. So if you build 225 players in your rankings, that's more than enough. So we'll see. We'll see where that lands once I finish up the rankings. But let's click back to ADP. Got Bijan so far. I mean, if Jonathan Taylor's there, I'll take him. So let's do it. Now I obviously have to click wide receiver, which is fine. There's tons here that I like. I'm going to have to catch up a little bit of wide receiver, but I can be done at running back for a long time in this draft. A lot of value towards the end of the draft, towards the end of the, oh, wow, it's this. Wow. Chase is getting steamed up a little bit more than I would like personally. Let's just do Higgins, I guess. Let's do Tyreek. Like, basically what the story I'm going to tell myself here is, considering I'm going a little fragile at wide receiver, I want the ceiling that Tyreek potentially gives. So let's go down that route. Like, you're taking the wide receiver 2 in Cincinnati or Tyreek Hill, which we've seen what he is. Yes, he had a down year last year. The whole team did. There was injuries to Tua, wrist injury for Tyreek. So let's just say he gets back to closer to what he was in 2023, 2022. And I think that's the correct click when you're building RB, which I don't feel comfortable doing at all, realistically. So I'm going to have to catch up at wide receiver, which is fine. I think I can do that. But I think Tyreek helps you start to dig yourself out of that hole. So let's buy into that take and kind of take it from there. T. Higgins falls for sure. That's a pretty big fall. That's a nice start for the 5 spot. Justin Jefferson, Trey McBride, T. Higgins, and a falling T. Higgins feels really nice when you take second round tight end. So well done there. Nice value there. Garrett Wilson falls a little bit. Josh Jacobs falls a little bit. Bit of a domino effect. Harrison's, out of value right now. So that's kind of the direction I'd be going. Oh, wait, there you go. ADP. Yeah, Harrison's out of value. That's the direction I would go. There he is. Vegas. Wow. Genty Bowers. I just have a hard time with that. I really do. We did an episode about that during the big board, basically capitulating to Genty going to the Raiders. And does this make sense? I have a hard time just believing that, first round running back, second round tight end can pay off their ADP on the same team. I have a really, really hard time, spinning that web personally. A lot of people are doing it. A lot of people have been doing it over the big board season, and it's continued into Best Ball Mania where we know they're on the same team, but I don't know. We'll see where that lands. Hit him with the gritty. Mike Bolduc says Lamar was the right click after the double RB start. Never, in my opinion. Kind of never. There's just so much value at quarterback, I think. I just think that there's not a lot of value. I talked about it in my last episode, my first episode of Hot Best Ball Summer, this being the second. I don't think there's a lot of value in these early elite quarterbacks in like Best Ball Mania, puppies, things like that. I really don't see the value. I really, really, really do not see the value in any structure kind of. Maybe there's some certain ways you're building that it can make some sense, but not for me. I just think that there's too much value rounds 8 through 12 as far as quarterbacks. Gritty, I know how you build your team, so maybe it's a little bit different for you. I'm sure it is, and that's fine. Stick to your takes. But that's definitely not the way I'm building personally, especially if I'm starting RB. I'm definitely not looking at taking a quarterback with my third pick. That's for sure. For sure. Where did T. Higgins go again? Right there. Thought that could have been where, wow, nice value for DJ Moore. No ADP value for me. At least not a lot. If Devontae Smith's there, that would be nice. And then hopefully get the Hurts, which I probably should. This guy could definitely go Burrow, but he should be taking another wide receiver. I'm not super comfortable, but it's nice to have a little stack action here. I'm not taking a ton of Hurts, but if I can get falling value on Devontae and then Hurts right at ADP, let's try it out. Let's force it in. I like that. It's going to give me not a free spot, but I'm definitely taking 8 wide receivers. I can stop at 2 quarterbacks, no problem. I can stop at 5 running backs. There's a lot of doors open right now as far as structure is concerned. Probably like boxing myself into late round tight end, which is perfectly fine. I don't feel bad about that whatsoever. I think there's tons of value at tight end at the end of these drafts and running back. So I can basically piss yellow for a little bit as long as it makes sense for my team and my build. Then I can just hammer wide receiver for the next couple rounds, mix in another, mid-round quarterback, be done at quarterback. I just hope there's not a crazy amount of value at running back staring me in the face. Where I have to just like close my eyes and click the button. I actually hope that doesn't happen. If it does, it does. And that's what I'm going to do. If there's value there, I'm going to take it, but I hope it doesn't. We will see how that one goes. But yeah, after this, heading over to the Fantasy Football Garage in about an hour. I'll be heading over there. The link is in the description for Chris's channel, the Candyman's channel over there. They're live right now. So if you want to head over there and check them out, do it. But I appreciate you guys coming in. Hit the like button for me. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, jump over to the YouTube machine, create an account, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, help the boys out. A lot of channels, a lot of momentum in the best ball world these days. The community is definitely growing. It's strong. It's great to see, but everybody needs all the support we can get, So let's do that. Any falling value? Romadunze. Wow, that's nice to get him on the end of the board. Pulls up Harvey. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. A little bit different. Definitely getting different here. JJ Swat. I like that. This is going to be tough to recover for Cracker in the 11 spot. I would probably be done at 4 running backs here, especially with CMC and Henry, Cook and Kamara. It's going to be tough to catch up at the other positions. I would probably prioritize quarterback in this situation, and then say I'm above the field at quarterback and I'm above the field at running back, and then just throw some volume at wide receiver. SMW88, we got him just pissing over here. So that works. Not a bad way to build, actually, in my opinion. I like this start, actually. I actually quite like that start. I'm not sure how I feel about Travis Hunter at pick 39 right now. Again, I'm personally waiting to see where he levels out. I'm not trying to pick him while he's rising. So if he gets into the 30s and he becomes a third round pick, like if he makes it around the corner and becomes a third round pick, it'll be very difficult for me to click Travis Hunter. Very difficult. But we'll see. I got to catch up a wide receiver, which is fine. I'm actually in a great spot to do that. If Debo's there, I'll take him. But I have another kind of thought process that I want to go down right here. Yeah. I have another thought process here. No, let's go Debo. Sorry. I got to go Debo. Let's just do that. Pair him up with the Philly side. It's a bring back. I'm more comfortable taking Debo at ADP, and this is a nice little half round slide. So I'll take that value. And then I'm probably going to go Shakir here, just because I'll feel more comfortable about the floor than some of these other clicks. Pearsall, Reed, Golden. Shakir goes, that's fine. That's probably the way I would have went. So let's just take the value with Pearsall. He's right at ADP, I guess. Yeah, let's take Pearsall here. Let's do that. I'm not sure I love that click. Diggs is probably, I guess you could say, like the correct click there. I was thinking about the scratch off ticket of Golden. I don't mind Jaden Reed either. I still think he's fine where he's going, but let's take Tricky Ricky and see how that works out for us. Gritty did a BBM yesterday and took CMC at 12 and Marvin Harrison Jr. at 13. Looking at your board right now, it looks like some drafters could get CMC round 2 and Harrison round 3. Yeah, I think that's definitely possible. That was quite the slide for Harrison, though. I mean, it's possible, but I certainly wouldn't bank on that. I think that's pretty unlikely. Unless you get realistically, you'd have to get a falling Christian McCaffrey is more likely than that much of a slide on Harrison. Because even that was like 5 picks, I think. Sorry, who was that drafter? One World. Yeah, that was 5 picks of ADP value for Harrison. That's less likely than Christian McCaffrey, whose ADP is, I think, 14 right now. Let's spell his last name. 13. So it is rising a little bit. But, I mean, yeah, that's going to be tough. No, I think you're fine. Like, I don't think that's going to happen very often where Christian McCaffrey and Marvin Harrison are able to be on the same team. At least not anymore. I'm sure there's a lot of big boards that are like that, but that means nothing to us now. So who cares? I don't think that we're going to see that combination too often, unless he's like at 15, maybe 16. Yeah, and Marvin Harrison falls, but that's a lot of ifs and buts in that conversation. So I think you're fine. I mean, it's a little unique. You get the division correlation. If that ends up being a Week 17 match up, then Marvin Harrison, that will happen a lot more frequently, right? We'll see that happen, and even Trey McBride. So we'll see CMC McBride going at the turn if that's the Week 17 matchup. And then maybe Harrison at times, but realistically, I think that happens with Trey McBride more. So you might have a unique, build again. If that is the Week 17 lineup, that might be unique going CMC and Marvin Harrison. So I actually don't despise that strategy whatsoever. And I don't think you're going to be able to get that that option with Christian McCaffrey, Marvin Harrison in the third. Christian McCaffrey in the second, Marvin Harrison in the third. I just don't think so. And then a free first-round pick. It's going to be pretty unlikely to be able to get that, especially as the summer goes on. Not adding anything at wide receiver for the Cardinals, like we've already been seeing Marvin Harrison rise, which is fine, and he's still valuable there. So I think you're all right. I'd be pretty surprised. Pretty surprised. No one's getting out of line, really. This guy's catching up at running back a little bit. Where was that fragile wide receiver build? This is pretty fragile. We got Champ X in the chat. That's going to be pretty precarious at wide receiver as we go. Where was the other guy? Was it this guy? I can't remember. Or right here. Yeah, he goes wide receiver. There it is. Jaden Higgins at 94. What are we doing? Let's do... Oh, we got to go ADP here. Wow, huge amount of value. Not really value. Let's go Josh Downs. Massive tier break at wide receiver after Josh Downs, in my opinion. So let's bring him in. Make it easy on ourselves. Massive tier break there. Some value at running back, but realistically, it's either kind of quarterback or tight end. Let's do Jonnu. Bring him in with Tyreek. Let's do that. Let's get a tight end in our room. Still probably have to go 3 tight ends, most likely. But we'll see how that shakes out. That's fine. I think that's kind of the way I'm liking to build right now too, is go, tight end right around. I don't know. I mean, if it's any of these kind of 4, Bowers, McBride for sure, probably Kittle, maybe Laporta, then I'm very comfortable stopping at 2. Kind of regardless of who the second one is, because there's that pocket of tight ends where you can get your second and feel very comfortable with it. And this is the pocket right here, right? Any of these kind of guys as your second tight end, if you have one of those kind of elite top end, talents at tight end, you're fine stopping at 2 and you're happy about it. But if you're waiting until, let's say here, the Jonnu Smith, the Mark Andrews, I mean, it depends on how quickly you take your next tight end. You could take 2 in this range and be done at 2, and that's fine. Or hit it with 1 and then wait till the end of the draft, take 2 more, and then it's a little bit thinner. There's a little less capital, cost at the position. So you can feel pretty comfortable about that. I like this build through... Yeah, I've been saying that through 10 rounds of drafting, I want to be 1, 2, 6, 1. That's how I ideally want my builds to look through 10 rounds. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 6 wide receivers, and 1 tight end. That feels really clean as far as structure, as far as capital. I think it makes a lot of sense. Wow, Caleb Williams is really falling, which is just wild to me. And if this Rome Odunze drafter gets a hugely falling Rome Odunze and a massively falling Caleb Williams, that'll feel really nice. This guy could take Caleb. Wow, he's trying to push Caleb. What are you doing? That's not advisable. This guy's probably still going to take Caleb Williams. At least I would. I don't really care if it's just one stack option. I absolutely take Caleb Williams at 108. If he's there for me at 119, shit, I'll take him naked. No problem. No problem. That's crazy that Caleb is falling this far in this draft room. Tyrone Tracy. If you don't go Caleb Williams, holy moly, this guy's just walking into it. That's highway robbery. This is a wild room. This is a wild, wild room. There he goes. What value on Caleb Williams? Holy moly. That feels really nice. When you get Colston Loveland and then the Rome Odunze drafter passes on Caleb for you when you have DeAndre Swift as well. Clean living, eh? That's all it takes sometimes, I guess. Holy moly. That feels really good for that guy. SMW 88. That feels nice. Where are we? Definitely have some room for Tua. Don't think anyone really wants to snipe me on Tua, and if they do, then that sucks for me, I guess. But I won't be taking him at this turn. I will take him with one of my next 2 picks. Tight end isn't exactly a priority, but it could be on the board. Running back, there's a couple wide receivers in this range that I don't mind. Yeah, basically anything but quarterback. This is a nice range, though. This is a nice pocket of players of talent, realistically, where you can take any position and feel pretty good about it. You just take what you need, take your stacks, take your bringbacks, whatever. This is a really nice pocket of talent, in my opinion. I just think, I'll get to that in a second, what I think. Ingram goes, that's fine. Let's go Charbonnet. Or do I want Tootin? Let's go Charbonnet. Actually, let's go Bateman because I have a couple running back options, but I definitely want Bateman as far as running or wide receiver. I don't want Coleman here. There's some other options in that offense later in the draft that I can go with. And there's a couple of running back options that I'd be happy to take. So let's bring in the wide receiver, lock that up. And then we still get Charbonnet. So let's do that. Let's go down the Charbonnet road. That feels good. Nice. I just think that where these tournaments are going to be won potentially and lost, but mostly where these tournaments are going to be won are in these 8 through 12 rounds. That's where these tournaments are going to be run in my opinion. Like I said, that's the quarterback pocket that I absolutely love is these 4 rounds worth of quarterbacks. We see a lot of purple in there. There's a lot of quality quarterbacks in that area. So that's where I want to be clicking quarterback for sure. And I will be with one of these 2 picks, right? So it's right in that same pocket. But beyond that, there's a lot of wide receivers. There's a lot of tight ends. There's a lot of running backs. There's a lot of everything in this whole range. This 4 pick, this kind of, I guess, quarter, right? This quarter, little less than a quarter, but let's call it a quarter because round 17 and 18, do whatever the hell you want. So let's call it, let's break this up into quarters. 13, 14, 15, 16 is the 4th quarter. This would be the 3rd quarter of the draft. There's a lot of value A lot of value, a lot of talent. That's where these drafts are going to be won and lost, in my opinion. At least right now. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes because it could change a lot throughout the summer. So we'll see. But that's my opinion as we sit right here, May 2nd, 2025. That's kind of how I'm feeling it right now. You're just popping in. Hit the like button for me if you don't mind. If you're new to the new to the channel, you like the content, hit the subscribe button over there. We're only doing one draft tonight. We're just ripping a quick one. We're heading over to the Fantasy Football Garage in about 40 minutes. So right after we're done this draft, we're going to run over there and hang out there for about an hour or so. Rip an eliminator draft. Should be fun. The link is in the description for that episode. So hit that link. Head over there. You won't be breaking my heart if you head over there right now. I hope it's a light stream right now. I hope everybody's over there in the Fantasy Football Garage. And if you're not, hit the link. Head over there. And I'll be over there myself in about 40 minutes. Something like that. Got Meg in the chat who just probably wrapped up, I'd imagine. Just wrapped up over on the Fantasy Football Garage. Appreciate you coming in. Smash the like. Appreciate you. Ben coming in. What's happening? Good to see you. Just a quick one. Quick little puppy. We got Putt Daddy in here. How you doing? I know you're over in the Fantasy Football Garage as well. I'll be heading over there in a few. Crash the party on PPR Tyler. I think he's on right now. Get a real ball knower in there. And rip these early eliminators. That's an interesting strategy when the schedule is not released. I'm planning on doing a lot of the eliminator, but honestly, I'm not drafting any until the schedule's released personally. But that's what he wanted to do. It's his channel. It's his live stream. Let's do it. I'm in. We'll figure it out. And you could end up with some super teams, but it is also a fair amount of risk not knowing the schedule, obviously not knowing buys. So it kind of forces some things structurally, but we'll talk about it when we get over there with Chris. About 40 minutes away. They may be talking me into doing some eliminator teams. I think it's a cool structure. Like I won't max it personally, but I might do like, I don't know, 50 maybe, something like that. Just get a good sweat, have something different, a little weekly sweat. And I think there's some fun strategy in that I think I definitely will do some. I plan on doing, I've already done a few and I plan on doing a fair amount of the weekly winners. And then, what's it called here? The eliminator. We're going to be ripping some of those as well. Kincaid goes. That was kind of the only decision for me. So let's just go ahead and bring in Tua here. Don't get cute. Don't try to push it. You never know. Badgeless, potential zombie. You never know. Let's just lock in our double stack. Get it done. Don't push it. Don't get cute. Lock it in. Then let's go Ray Day. I want some bring back action for the Miami side here. So let's bring in Ray Davis. And I think there's tons of value in Ray Davis right now. I really, really do. I really do. He's one of the guys that I think that there's a ton of closing line value on right now. Again, it's May 2nd. Things can change. But with the information that I have right this second, I think that he's a huge value personally. Just Matt wrapped up a fun eliminator. It is different. It's a different contest. And yeah, I'm excited to... Again, I wouldn't do any personally before the schedule comes out because, I mean, I was watching for a little bit. I overheard Emo Cowboy, his take kind of that taking a lead quarterback right now is a little bit precarious, which I definitely agree with. But once you know the schedule, you absolutely want an elite quarterback in that structure. So that's why I'm not doing any, but You never know. If you risk it for the biscuit and you try to go 2 quarterback, you could end up with a much more talented kind of a super team, or you could be absolutely dead whenever that double bye week comes. But it is a fun structure, and I will be drafting some teams. It's just a matter of kind of how many realistically. Probably not a crazy amount, just enough to get a nice sweat. I won't max it personally, but it'll be a good sweat. Same thing with the weekly winners. I'm definitely not maxing weekly winners, but I might do again up to 50, something like that, or 25 maybe. Probably 25 weekly winners. I don't think I need to get too overboard, but then maybe 50 eliminators. Sorry, I'm not doing the sprint. I'm not doing the marathon. So those will be the only ancillary kind of tournaments that I do would be, eliminator and weekly winners. So should be fun, should be different. Excited to get in there. So I'm done at quarterback. Through 13 rounds, we've got a 2-4-6-1. Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Zach Charbonnet, Ray Davis, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Smith, Deebo Samuel, Ricky Pearsall, Josh Downs, Rashad Bateman, and Jonnu Smith. I like the structure. Done at quarterback. I'm definitely not taking a third. There's just no value whatsoever for me personally in this range of the draft. Like, if you only had one quarterback at this stage, you could hit like Bryce Young, Stafford, Geno, sure, Darnold if you had to, but other than that, you're not feeling very good. I said it last episode, on the first episode with my initial kind of thoughts. I want to be done selecting quarterback by round 12, essentially. Like this range of quarterbacks, Love, Penix, Stroud, Tua. I want to be completely finished drafting quarterback, regardless of if I'm doing, realistically, I really, really don't see myself doing a lot of 3 quarterback builds this year. I really, really don't. So yeah, I'm going to be done drafting quarterback relatively early. I just don't think there's any value there. I really, really don't. I think it's a hard time, anchoring yourself to some of these quarterbacks. No, this is just a puppy. I've ripped 10 BBM so far, and I'm not doing any more Best Ball Manias until the schedule is released. And we'll have a big episode on the channel going over the schedule once it is released, talking about playoff matchups, all that kind of stuff. It'll be a fun episode on March 14th, the day that the schedule is released. And then I'll be ripping BBMs. I just don't think it makes sense to draft more than a handful, however many you want to call it, before we know the matchups, the playoff matchups, etc., etc. So that's where I'm at with Best Ball Mania. I'm not drafting it right this second. Let's do Braylon. Wow, massive value on Jalen McMillan. I would take him, but I think Braylon makes more sense for me. So let's do Braylon Allen. If Jalen wraps around, I'll take him. I mean, I'd rather take... Oh, man. There goes some of the tight ends. I might have to take a tight end now. I kind of feel like I have to take a tight end now. I already have Debo. Let's bring in Cade Otton. That's a lot of value on Jalen McMillan. Let's take McMillan. That's too much value. We're in the 15th round. Let's get Jalen McMillan here. Wow, 33 picks of value. Guess I'll fall on the sword on that one. Pat, what's happening, man? Good to see you. 10 likes. I hope it's light. I hope it's a light stream tonight. I hope everybody's over at the Fantasy Football Garage. Head on over there. I'm on the stream. I'll be there in about half an hour. As soon as I'm done ripping this quick little puppy. The link is in the description for the Fantasy Football Garage 4-hour live stream. We're ripping eliminators, different tournament. Should be fun. I'm over there as soon as I'm done here, about a half hour, and we're going to have some fun tonight. Pat just wrapped up his episode. So go watch that back. 1.25, 1.5. Do what you got to do, and support the team, support the ecosystem that we're living in here. 2571. I'm definitely going to end up with 3 tight ends. That's for sure. So I have one more pick, wide receiver or running back. Probably going to be wide receiver. Really, I don't feel tons of pressure to go with either position, if I'm being honest. But probably wide receiver. It has to be wide receiver. With Bijan and JT, Charbonnet, Davis, Allen. I think it's got to be wide receiver. I'm locked in with the top 2. That's really what I'm rolling with. So let's bring in another wide receiver at some point, but we definitely need 2 more tight ends somewhere along the line here. 33 picks for Jalen McMillan. I'll fall on that sword, I guess. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that. Different build, a little bit different than I typically build. Double stack Miami, single stack Philly, bring back with Debo, bring back with Ray Davis, bring back with Braylon Allen potentially. I don't mind it. It's a little different. I don't mind it. So, yeah, if you are chilling here, hit that like button for me. If you're watching it back after the fact, hit the like button. Maybe leave a comment. Helps out. But hopefully everybody's enjoying the Fantasy Football Garage. Let's head over there. Let's support Chris. Tolbert flying up the board a little bit. Banking on the Dallas offense with Javonte. Love Gibbs. Don't hate Bucky. Terry. Cortland Sutton. Still clicking Bo Nix. Hey, I don't mind that. Double stack with Mims. I love Justin Fields in this a lot. I think there's tons of value there. Palmer, I like a lot. Yeah. I think Pierce is going to have a lot of value at this end of the draft. 15th round pick, Alec Pierce. I'll definitely be clicking that. I have a little bit. Jonathan, how you doing, man? Appreciate you coming in. Couple more picks, 3 more picks. I wanted Mason Taylor, but I don't think it would have made it past Champ X3 anyways when he's got Justin Fields. But either way, would have been nice to get, a more likely and consistent bring back with the Jet side than Braylon Allen, but that's fine. It was not necessary when I got Braylon. And there's some tight end value still to be had. That's why we take a round 9 tight end. Like, you can get round 10 Evan Ingram, round 9 Johnny, you get, Colston Loveland, Hawkinson maybe, even some of these earlier ones, Laporta, George Kittle. And then you just wait till the end of the draft, click 2 guys that still have some value, that's what we'll be doing. So you'll see who I think has a little bit of value in a second here. Terrence Ferguson's one of them. I might have brought in Terrence Ferguson into this team. Actually, almost certainly. So that kind of hurts. Is he the Stafford drafter? No. Just likes Terrence Ferguson. That's fair. Woody Marks goes. That's a good click. Might be a little early, but doesn't matter. 16th round is whatever. Get your guys. So we are going with wide receiver or tight end. Pass knee issue for Arroyo, hey? Three tight ends for the 1 spot already. Yeah, I'm going to take Keenan Allen here. That's an easy click for me. Another, what is that? almost 30 picks, another 28 picks or so of ADP value. Give me Keenan. Easy click. That's wild. So my last 2 picks will be tight end. First one will be Juwan Johnson. I think he's got a ton of value right now. And then we'll see who's left over. It's going to be pretty slim pickings at tight end down here. So, yeah. I'm glad I'm at 3. I'll tell you that. Definitely glad I'm sitting at 3 tight ends. And I have like kind of high floor options for the most part. I think Juwan Johnson is a fine 19th round selection, 20th round selection. Very fine. I don't know who's going to be left for me for my 3rd tight end, but not the end of the world. Definitely not the end of the world. We're going to end up with a 2-5-8-3 build, which is probably going to be like a fairly common build for my draft season. A lot of 2-5-8-3, 2-6-7-3, 2-6-8-2, stuff like that. A lot of 2 quarterback. I really just do not see myself building a lot of 3 quarterback teams at all. I really, really don't. Jerome Ford restructured his rookie contract, which is wild today. That's wild that he restructured a rookie contract. I would have just said, fuck you, cut me, if I'm being honest. Yeah, like Jerome Ford in Dallas would have been fed families, man. So I don't know. That I thought that was kind of wild that he just accepted the pay cut as a rookie on his rookie contract. That's wild to me, but whatever. I've never been clicking Sanat. Still clicking Sanoff. Interesting. No, I never have been clicking Sanat. Took him like once in a blue moon as a rookie, but I didn't love that he kind of wore a fullback's number in college and then he kind of got drafted as a fullback and we were surprised. Kind of interesting. I thought that was a relatively telltale, to be honest with you. It's odd that he was wearing number like 44, 34, something like that in college. So it's odd to me. I thought that was odd. Obviously, it doesn't say or mean everything, but like we saw him not get a lot of usage as a rookie. So I would rather be, if I need like a stack option for Jaden Daniels, I'd rather be clicking Luke McCaffrey personally than Ben Sanat, but maybe that's just me. I could be on an island on that one. All right. Last round, taking the tight end. We'll see who's there. Hit the like button for me. Hit the subscribe button if you like the content. Appreciate you guys coming in. The link in the description is to the Fantasy Football Garage. Head over there. I'll be there in about 15, 20 minutes. And we'll be ripping an eliminator draft. I'm going to pour myself a nice little glass of wine while we draft, maybe. Keep it classy. See how Chris is doing. He's been live for a couple hours now. I did the 12-hour live stream a couple weeks ago. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. It was long. To be honest, though, it was actually shorter than I thought. Like, it actually was relatively easy. It wasn't too bad. I was pretty tuckered out and tired of sitting by the end of it. Definitely not built for a 24-hour live stream like PPR Tyler likes to do every other weekend, it seems. Not serious, but he does have another one scheduled in for a subscriber goal, so go subscribe to him as well over there. I mean, maybe. Like, the reality is of this tournament and of this structure of best ball in general, we don't have enough data to say, yeah, it might be good for advance rates, but to be honest with you, I really don't give a shit about advance rates. I really don't. Like, as long as I'm not below the field, which I've personally never been, I've always been quite a bit above the field, the average for advance rate. So I'm never concerned about my advance rate. I'm trying to win the tournament. And I just don't think like shelling out that capital makes sense. The biggest reason why is I'm not taking quarterbacks down here. I'm not taking any of these like 12 or sorry, let's say 13 through 18th round. I'm not taking any of these quarterbacks. I'm really, really not. If I get backdoored or I have to take two where I end up with like Josh Allen, Matt Stafford, and Geno Smith or something, okay, that might happen. But pretty rare. That'll be exceptionally rare for me. So, yeah, it has been in the past and might continue to be. You want to advance your teams, draft 4 quarterbacks early. You'll probably advance, but you're not going to win anything. So you'll lose money on the season, that's for sure. Realistically, you want to get one team in the finals. That's it. So honestly, I could really care less about advance rate for the most part, unless I'm like way behind the field, which I've never been. So I'm not too concerned about advance rate personally. We're going to just do Noah Gray here. I think he's the highest ceiling down here. Sorry, both highest floor and highest ceiling down here. Like, for some reason, he's fallen out of favor because it's no longer 20 rounds. I get it, but he's still a 100-point tight end in a high-powered offense, has the respect and connection and the attention of the quarterbacks. Let's bring in Noah Gray. Make it easy. Quality build. I don't despise it. It's definitely a little different. A little fragile at tight end, but I think we made it work. We got Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Zach Charbonnet, Ray Davis, Braylon Allen. I like this room. Obviously, it's top heavy, which is fine when your first 2 picks are running back. That's fine. And then, high value handcuff. That works for me. If one of these guys end up being a guy, then you're in good shape. Or if they just pop off, ping pong off each other and make your lineup a little bit, I'm happy with that. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Smith, Deebo Samuel, Ricky Pearsall, Josh Downs, Rashad Bateman, Jalen McMillan, Keenan Allen. I like this room a lot, actually. This is a fun running back room. Not a lot of rookies, as in 0 rookies on this team. That's different. Just how it worked out. Johnny Smith, Juwan Johnson, and Noah Gray. I like the squad. Yeah, that's good. It'll happen. It'll happen sometimes. Sometimes it won't. And yes, yesteryear, like last year, the year before, they're not the same as this year. So if you feel comfortable doing that, then do that. Liam won Best Ball Mania with 1 quarterback. So he won Best Ball Mania 2 with literally he had 2 quarterbacks. One was hurt, one was Josh Allen. So he won the entire tournament with 1 quarterback. So again, there's not enough data. There's only 6 years of data for Best Ball. That's not enough when it's not like a weekly game. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's going to happen. You're going to make finals with 3 quarterback builds. You're going to make finals with 4 quarterback builds. A guy won a fast puppy tournament with 5 wide receivers on his roster. So like crazy things can and will happen. And last season is not like this season. This season will not be like next season, and so on and so forth. So realistically, every tournament is in its own little vacuum. Every draft cycle is in its own little vacuum. This isn't the big board season either. Big board versus BBM, 2 completely different things. So, I wouldn't just say like, and if that's your strategy, then go nuts. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong or do something different. I'm just saying that's not what I'm doing. Champ, let's take a quick look. I got to get over to the other channel here. We got Bo Nix and Justin Fields. I like that a lot. That's a quality build. I'm happy to definitely stop at 2. Jahmyr Gibbs, Irving, David Montgomery, Javonte Williams, Rico Dowdle, Sean Tucker. I'm not really clicking too much of Sean Tucker, and I'm not clicking much of Javonte Williams personally. Doesn't mean it's a bad click. I'm just not doing it. You have some Tampa Bay, taking the handcuff. I get it. Carolina with Tampa Bay. I get that. I love Gibbs. Big fan of Bucky. I love the floor you get with David Montgomery. So this running back room will definitely work for you. Terry McLaurin, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, double stack. Denver, Josh Palmer, Jalen Tolbert brought him up. Alec Pierce, Dontavion Wicks, and Trey Tucker. A little fragile, obviously. Don't think I'm telling you something you don't know. That's where it gets pretty difficult to catch up at wide receiver when you take, early tight ends, early running back. It gets difficult to catch up at wide receiver. It'll be tough to even advance, but we'll see what happens. I like the rest of your rooms. I like your quarterbacks for sure. I don't mind your running back room at all, and your tight end room is obviously kind of lapping Fields, but Kittle and Laporta, but it will be tough at wide receiver. I don't think I'm not building a lot like this. I'll say that. I'm building a lot of zero RB, dual hero RB, that sort of a thing, where I'm getting away from running backs for quite a while, unless there's massive amounts of value. Then I'll just take it, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. There you go. So we're going to get out of here. Quick episode, quick little rip a draft before we head over to the Fantasy Football Garage. Hit the like button on your way out if you don't mind. The link is in the description for the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm heading over there in about 10 minutes. So we'll be live with Chris. That's all we got. I'll be live again at some point over the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. We'll be ripping some drafts. It'll be a bit of a longer episode. We don't have, I just wanted to get into my own channel, rip a draft, say hi to the team. Steven, appreciate you coming in. We got Chris, Jonathan, Pat, the Dog Pound. Appreciate you guys coming in. Like I said, hit that like button. Head over to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'll see you guys there in a few minutes. Like we always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight we were right, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. Have yourselves a great night.